Hello, hello, happy Monday. I'm just gonna get my iPad set up here while a few of you join in and such. I don't like to keep you guys waiting because I know a lot of you do the replay because of your work schedule or just your schedule in general and such too. So I just want to make sure that I have my iPad running so that if people want to ask questions, you're always free to ask questions as I go along. Any kind of questions, like what did you bake today? I didn't bake anything today. Should get going on some cookies again, but I have a few leftover brownies, which is amazing because that means they've been there for 24 hours, and anything more than 24 hours, I start to wonder if it wasn't good to start with or what happened. So, so maybe I'll show you cookies tomorrow as part of my stamp camp thing. When I do stamp camps, I like to bake too. So I like to throw those things in too. Hi, Mary. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Julie. Hi, Linda. Thanks for joining in. And it looks like my iPad is ready to go too. So yeah, I hope you guys had a good weekend. It was a beautiful weekend. I was helping my son actually finish cleaning out the garage and stuff, so I probably look a little worse for wear that way because that hairspray, don't believe it when it says full volume. I never get it in my hairspray. So I hope when you order Stampin' Up! Products, they don't disappoint like my hairspray does. So just kidding. Hi, Shelly. Thanks for joining in. So I will get to today's card here in a second, but hi, Deb. But before I get started, just kind of want to give you an overview of what my May stamp camp will look like. So today is day 1 of 10 cards of my virtual May stamp camp. And so because of the shelter at home staying in place, I'm still going to be offering the May Stamp Camp cards as virtual. And so you can get my May Stamp Camp cards because we're starting a new month, that I'll go through that spiel again right away on day 1. So you can purchase my Stamp Camp cards for the May virtual Stamp Camp for $22. And I know you might be going like, I haven't even seen one, and that's fine. And so you'll have a couple weeks or so to decide if you want them or not. Hi, Gretchen. Hi, Lisa. So you can either purchase the 10 May Stamp Camp cards for $22, and the other option is to place a $75 order, and then you get the 10 made up cards for free that way. So with that too, oh, I want to just let people know that the cards are 100% made up. So I know people would like kits and such. Stampin' Up! Doesn't allow for that, and so you'll get a card made up. You'll have the copyright image on the back so that I'm playing by all the rules, because I want to make sure that I do that to stay the way I need to with Stampin' Up! Too. So hi, Julie. Thanks for joining in. So, so when I get ready for my May Stamp Camp for the last numerous years, I don't even know how long, I take time, and so kind of double the thought is put into my stamp camps in May. And so what I do is I get out the annual catalog, which is the blue covered one, and several things are retiring from here, as well as the January through June catalog too. And so I might be pulling some things out from there too as we go along. But I start kind of with the annual catalog, and I go through my retiring list and kind of see, hey, what's retiring and what did people like to, you know, play with and do things with, or maybe what did I get and never did anything with? Because I'm sure that there are many of you that have a stamp set, I think we all do, that you have purchased thinking, well, this is really cool, and then you didn't do anything with it. So my goal always in the month of May has been to kind of call it, actually the product retiring list is called the last chance, and that's kind of what I've always called my May stamp camps too. So I'm trying to pull out stamp sets that are retiring, and maybe even pulling in some papers or accessories or things like that too. So as I make all of my May stamp camp cards, I will be also telling you what's staying, what's going, and even if there's a sale, if I know about it too, if I think about it. So without further ado, day number 1 of the 10 cards is going to be this guy. So it says time to celebrate, and with that, what was I going to say? it's backwards. I think that's throwing me off. I should get used to that by now, or learn how to be comfortable and get it switched around too. So hi Kelly. And so this little guy, the little rhinoceros, is from the stamp set Animal Outing. And so I love Animal Outing. So it's not even that I went alphabetical order when I pull the stamp sets out of retiring. I just knew that Animal Outing was going to be what I wanted to use so that I wouldn't miss a last chance with that. So I'm also pulling in Itty Bitty Birthdays, but Itty Bitty Birthdays is not retiring. I just love all the sentiments with it. When I made my card for today, I could have used any of the sentiments in here. Sometimes when I do stamp camps, I hear, oh, I don't always need a baby card, and I kind of did something that could have been baby card last month. So I didn't want to do that right away again. But I do like some of the sentiments in here, and some of them are pretty specific for a good reason, like together we make a great pair. Well, not maybe everybody has somebody to send that to, or somebody might buy that stamp set just because it's perfect for them for whatever reason too. So Animal Outing is going, as well as the coordinating dies. Itty Bitty Birthdays is staying. So, okay, so I will get started on making this fun card today. So I'm really excited about it because, like I said, I just really like that stamp set. So I will quickly flip my camera here or get it closer so that I can get started and make the card with you guys. So let me get my tripod adjusted here and tune down a little bit. Like so. So let's see. Sometimes I get a reflection too, so I want to make sure that that you can see and that the blank spot is my paper and not a reflection in that too. Hi Sherry, thanks for joining in. So I think how I'll start today, I always do the card and you guys don't see how many different stops and starts I did, but I think what I want to do, because that's where I spent probably the majority of my time today, was trying to figure out what in the world paper do I want to use when I have so much paper. So I am pulling from the Dino Roar Designer Series paper. So Dino Roar has a cute suite. It's adorable. It's got great papers. The stamp set and the dies are carrying over. The paper is not. And I love this paper, and it's easy to use with so many other things too. So I pulled this sheet from Dino Roar, and so we have a lot of that kind of fun stuff going on one side. And I liked this just because it kind of had a fun festive party theme, and I liked all the different colors in there. So I thought I'll just cut a 5 1/4, my trimmer. Let's see, 5 and whoops, I think my finger just bumped it. Okay, 5 1/4 by 4-inch piece here of the Dino Roar. I'll just trim that and set those aside. And the base of my card is going to be shaded spruce, which this time of year I don't use shaded spruce that often. As I thought about it, I usually use shaded spruce for Christmas and such, but I liked how it brought that kind of in, and it doesn't have any other shaded spruce on the paper. But honestly, the whole reason I brought it in was because I love this leaf ribbon. The leaf ribbon is leaving, and when I refer to my catalog, leaf ribbon is on page 175, normally $8. It is on sale for $5.60. I bought tons of this leaf ribbon right away when it came out in the catalog 2 years ago. I don't know how many spools I bought because I thought, oh, everybody's gonna love that. It's gonna go with Animal Outing. And now that it's going out, I still have like a spool and a half, so enough to get through my virtual stamp camp, I hope. But I usually use little bits and pieces, so it does last quite a while. So to put my leaf ribbon on, I'm just going to go to my glue dots, and I'll put one glue dot behind one leaf here, and then I'll kind of secure that in the back. And if there's any of the vine that kind of sticks out, I want to make sure that that's tucked too. But this actually seems to sit pretty well. And then with my scissor, I'm just going to cut to the end there, and then I make sure that there's at least one nice leaf that I can put a glue dot on and tuck on the back side there as well. Okay, hoped it wasn't bubbled up. Sometimes I have tendency to get it kind of tight there too. So, and then with that, I am just going to take my snail, set my ribbon and glue dots aside, and I'll take my snail and just run right over top of that ribbon. I tacked it down in the back, the leaves, and then I can just attach that to my card base. So card base, once again, is 5.5 by 4 1/4, and then my designer series paper I trimmed down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 that way. So just a 1/4 inch less. And then to kind of, let's see, go next, I think what I'm going to show is how I came up with my rhinoceros. And so I know my people pretty well, and so when it comes time for stamp camp, I know when I have projects that people are going to need to color, there's going to be the handful that love to color, and there's going to be the handful that just cringe at the thought of coloring in. So with this, I'm just inking up my rhinoceros in Memento black ink, and I'm going to stamp him out on smoky slate cardstock. And so by stamping him on the gray, no coloring in. So we don't have to worry about coloring him in because he's gray. And so if you look at my sample here, you can see that there's this bird here that I did add some color to, and I'll show you how I do that. So I'm just going to re-ink just kind of the tip of his rhinoceros here, tip of his horn where the bird is perched on there. Same black ink pad like so. And then I can just take my blends here. I wanted bright colors to tie in with that designer series paper. And because the bird's so small, I'm not going to worry about using a light and dark blends for shading. So I'm using my dark Mango Melody blends for the whole bird. And then I'm going to use my dark Poppy Parade for the beak. And I kind of look like I went out of the lines a little bit, and when that happens, I intentionally go out of the lines kind of surrounding the whole thing so that it looks kind of like on purpose. Okay, so hi Susan, thanks for joining in. So next what I will do then is take my framelits for the animal friends, or the Thinlits. Whoops, they're on this side. So with that, you have framelits for a little frog that sits on a branch, kangaroo, giraffe, neck up, the rhinoceros here in different greeneries, and even the spots for giraffe that I've used kind of for backgrounds and such. So that works out pretty well. So I'll set that aside, but that one is called the Animal Friends. That one's retiring too. And so I'm just going to take my big shot here and get my rhinoceros die lined up like so. And this one looks a little bit like a train wreck. It's a little bit warped just from a stamping event. I don't know what happened. Sometimes we don't know what happened, but it's unusual to have a warped die. And then my scissors, I'm just gonna poke out that little piece. I love how when it cuts out this guy, it also pokes out that little piece there too, so that's nice. And then I did a technique like this at a stamping event for some ladies, and I said, well, just to get the bird, if you want your bird to be, you know, special like mine is and colored in and popped up, or, you know, special attention paid to it, you could just stamp it out again and fussy cut it. And one of the gals says, well, can't we just stamp it out and then run it through the big shot again like we did the big one? And I went, oh yes, we can. It was just like a total brain fart of didn't even think of doing that. So that's a really easy way to get the bird separate like that too. So I just use a tiny little piece of white scratch paper kind of, and then run that through, and then I'm just going to clip off the bird right by his feet, and then I'm just going to trim off right close to there too. Hi Jen. And then I'm going to find my next glue dot and just press him into that glue dot and pull him off. I was debating even about using a mini dimensional just to pop him up, but he's so tiny. I kind of just wanted the color to be what pops, and that way he doesn't stand up too much on the card and get knocked off when you're putting it in your envelope. So that's all I'm going to do with a rhinoceros, is just have him stamped black on the smoky slate, and then just have that pop of color with those blends like that. And then before I do any more assembling, what I'm going to do is just run with my stitched nested labels dies. And I hope you're not tired of me using these. I've been using these a lot. And so you get a nice big set. So this is a size that I'm using today. They are not retiring. Right now they're part of a bundle with the free as a bird, but for the time savings, but they are not retiring. But I just love how they work with so many images, or even for this, it's just going to be kind of an accent that I'm going to use as an added layer on my card. So we have this, and then what I'm going to do is with my trimmer, and I didn't measure, I just kind of eyed it and I went, okay, this is about how much room I need for sure for the rhino. And then right here where the corner is to where I cut it, I just kind of counted 2 black lines on my trimmer. So then I'm gonna trim off just that little space here. And then this is going to be what we're gonna put the rhinoceros on. Hi Tabitha, thanks for joining in. So next I'll just take my snail adhesive and use some of that to tack this down. I kind of want to get it under the leaf ribbon a little bit there, like so. And then pick up the rhinoceros here. And, oops, I already took the top off of one of my dimensionals here. And I'll just put about 3 dimensionals on the back side of my rhinoceros. So we have that to get him popped up like so. Oops. There. And sometimes depending on how your leaf ribbon comes off the spool, sometimes you might have just that one leaf that drives you crazy. I feel like this one's laying really well, but I'll be honest, this one, my sample as nice as the one that I'm making for you. So I just tucked another glue dot behind that leaf just to kind of keep this, and keeping that in place just makes everything else to kind of fall into place too. So that's my little secret there. And then I love using all my scraps. So I'm just going to take this little piece here, and that's where I pulled out from the stamp set Itty Bitty Birthdays. I put it's time to celebrate. And so I didn't want it to be just limited to birthday, and it could be for anything. So I thought time to celebrate, you could kind of have it be for a birthday or something else. And then I want to pop that up. So I'm going to use about 3 dimensionals there too. And don't forget, even though this is kind of a nice little stitched look, if you mess up, you can always flip it over and the other side has a nice stitched look to it. So you still have a couple tries, even though it's kind of a nice little unique piece to use. And I'm just gonna line that up with the designer series paper at the top there. So time to celebrate. And then there too, sticking with that generic theme of not exactly being a birthday, in with Itty Bitty Birthdays, It's Your Day is a great inside. So this could make a great kid's birthday or any kind of thing too. And then back to the animal outing stamp set, there's a cute little frog hiding in the green tree branch here. So I'm just gonna stamp him kind of going off the side of my paper there. You could take the extra few seconds to color him in if you wanted to do that. I'm just gonna leave mine black and white. I'm gonna tape that down for the inside. And then I wanted to add one more quick little accent to my card. And that is the Gingham Gala adhesive back sequins. So these are kind of an interesting green that kind of bright. The rest of the Gingham Gala sequins, and I'll find that page too for you. I think they're on page, here we go. They're on page 178 of the annual catalog. Gingham Gala has some really nice light pastel type of looking adhesive back sequins, which is great because the adhesive is right there with it. Circles and little flowers and kind of pastel, and then this kind of bright green. So I like how bright the green is. So there again, it doesn't really have this color in this paper, but I love how it kind of adds that little bit of pop of bright color for the cards. So I'm going to put 3 of these on here. So I'll tuck one kind of off to that side, and then 2 more on the other side of the rhinoceros, because you're always going to want to put an odd number of embellishments on. You could put another couple there too if you wanted to, but I kind of like how that just filled that in like so. So I've got my inside done and that, and then I'm just going to finish my card with my copyright image back here so that it's good to go. And that way it's already done for my first card of the 10 for my May virtual stamp camp. So let me adjust my camera again. Okay, so try and make my videos kind of not so fast that it's like, oh my goodness, I can't keep up, or what is she doing? But I also just like checking in with you guys. So it's kind of fun just to hear from you guys and know that you're out there, and hopefully we can all be together sometime soon too. So until then, it's going to be another virtual May stamp camp, and I hope you can tune in, but know that you can always watch replays. Today is a quiet day around here, so I might try and work a little bit on my YouTube videos. And the month of April, I did 19 Facebook Lives, and today my house feels clean. It's not too bad, but it feels clean because I got all my April stamp camp cards out finally. So thank you for your patience. If you were one of the last few to request them a couple weeks ago, it took me quite a while to get a bunch of cards done. So it feels good to have those taken to the post office and such. And I'm ready for the next round of May stamp camps because it's always fun to have that excuse to spend lots of time in my stamp room. So I'm ready to go. I feel like I'm ready to stamp, and I feel like I'm way more ahead this month already, even though it's day 1, than I was last month, just because everything felt like, what am I doing? So hopefully you'll get your cards a lot sooner this month, and that's my goal too, is to just keep working on lots of cards every day, so that when I get to card number 10, I should be ready to send all the cards out too. So hope you guys are doing well. If you have any questions at all with anything that I'm bringing out, or prices or whatever. Oh, which reminds me, so these adhesive back sequins, the gingham, they were in the annual catalog when they came out. They were $7.50. They are marked down 60%. Whole package of these things, all those colors, $3. So if you need something a little bit fun to add to your projects, that's a great price for something like that. And like I said, I love how the adhesive's right on there. You don't have to look for any kind of way to stick it to your cards too. So I think that's it for today. Now what I'm going to do is go to my computer and upload the card, and I'll have everything that I used to make the card today. So if you're curious and don't want to go back on the video to see what I've done, then you'll have that list of everything I used to make the card, including the cardstock colors, everything. So happy Monday. Hope you're all staying well. See you tomorrow afternoon with card number 2. Bye-bye.